He already has the glory.
Yeah, one more glory before the lights fade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Jon's a conqueror. I think
He is.
I think he can't sit back.
He's the best of all time. No one
Yeah.
can say the opposite of that. One punch can change everything inside the octagon. Of course, everyone think that JON is gonna get it.
Joe Rogan and Ilya Taporia recently analyzed a potential fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. Building on this, Jon Jones downplayed Tom Aspinall's threat, describing him as just another up-and-coming contender akin to Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith, an exciting prospect, but not one he'll stake his legacy on.
You know, Aspinall to me is no difference than an Olin St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith, like just another up and comer that's exciting right now. I just don't even want to do business with him. You know, at the end of the day, this is a business, and fighting me gives him an opportunity to change his life forever. And I don't even want to give him the opportunity. Like he just played his cards wrong with me personally, and you know, I'm 3 years from being a 40-year-old grown man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the press conference, going through the whole shebang with him, I'd rather not do.
Expanding on his viewpoint, Jones emphasized that he is not interested in chasing fights purely for their entertainment value or because they have hype. Instead, Jones intends to solidify his resume by facing only proven legends of the sport.
And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting. I want legends on my resume. Like, we finally found someone who may give me a great challenge. And everyone wants to see it so bad, but for me, it's like, what's in it for me? He changes nothing if I beat him. Beating Tom is just like beating Cyril Gain. Has a whole country behind him, he's hot right now. What happens to me after I beat him? Nothing changes for me.
On top of that, Jon Jones slammed Tom Aspinall's disrespectful attitude and annoying fan base, blaming his influencer generation mindset for standing in the way of any deal. He made clear that without basic professionalism and respect, there's no room for negotiations.
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. You know, it's just like his fans have been so annoying. And obviously you don't get this far in a career being affected by fans or whatnot, but he's just an asshole, you know, with his, you know, he's 30, so he's from this influencer generation where you hop online and the t-shirt sales and all that. I'm past that type of stuff. I'm like, bro, if you had a little bit more respect, then maybe we could have worked something out, you know, but...
Pushing back, interim UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has grown tired of the constant chatter about a possible fight with Jon Jones. The British fighter made it clear he's lost interest in the speculation and is simply waiting for the UFC to give him the green light. He's ready whenever they are.
Yeah, I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm ready to fight whenever they tell me, so just let me know. I'll be there.
Moreover, Demetrius Johnson praises Jon Jones's intelligence and versatility, but notes a key difference. Since his move to heavyweight, he's no longer as fast as he was at 205 pounds. The added weight has slowed him down, which could be a significant factor in a potential fight with Tom Aspinall.
If Alex Volkanovski can get that belt back, and you know, we're all going to be sitting there at the edge of our seat to see what happens between these two athletes.
The UFC 314, could be really heartbreaking for fans, right? Like there's a lot of there's a lot of legends fighting, there's a lot of new people stepping in. It's kind of like a passing of the torch, but it's the best card the UFC has done in so long, so it's going to be really interesting. I got some fan questions for you before I let you go, but before I jump to those, just quickly, looks like Aspinall and Jones might happen.
Johnson pointed out that Aspinall, being younger, quicker, and naturally suited for heavyweight, should not be kept waiting. He also expressed concern over the UFC allowing Jones to dictate the pace and direction of the division, suggesting the delay serves no real purpose and stalls momentum.
I think it's a little bit different. If I was talking Aspinall, I'll say, okay, Jon Jones wants 6 months. I'm going to pass on that fight. I'm going to fight somebody else. I'll defend interim light heavyweight, the interim heavyweight championship. And then when Jon Jones, it's like everybody's fighting on Tom Jones. Everybody's fighting on Jon Jones. Tom Jones.
The sex bomb.
Yeah, everybody's fighting on Jon Jones's timeline. Where if I was Tom Aspinall, I wouldn't fight on Jon Jones' timeline. He's dictating what's going on right now and when that fight's gonna happen. If I was Tom Aspinall, I'm like, nah, I'm not waiting 6 months. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like the last time Tom Aspinall, I can't remember the last time Tom Aspinall fought.
Echoing that sentiment, Michael Bisping acknowledges Jon Jones as a legendary figure in MMA, an undefeated force with a resume that speaks volumes. Still, Bisping maintains that no one stays unbeatable forever. Eventually, every fighter meets their match.
He should be listening. Jon Jones is great, and you can't deny what he's done in the octagon, the career that he's had, and he's technically unbeaten. However, you know, everyone meets their match eventually. And I think Tom Aspinall's the new generation, he's the new breed, and he'll go down probably as the greatest mixed martial artist that we've ever had. He's elite as a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights, they're good, they're very strong, they're powerful, but they're not as quick and as agile and as technical as Tom. Tom's the whole package. You know, he's like, there's a fighter called George St. Pierre, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. Tom's like a heavyweight George St. Pierre, he's got no weak areas.
Meanwhile, adding nuance, Michael Bisping views Tom Aspinall as the future of the heavyweight division. He acknowledged the steep challenge that lies ahead. He emphasizes that Aspinall has never faced someone like Jon Jones. That said, Bisping also points out that Jones has never encountered a fighter quite like Aspinall, whose rare combination of size, speed, and knockout power makes this a uniquely compelling matchup for both men.
He hasn't gone up against somebody like Jon Jones because, as I said, the competition in the heavyweight division isn't necessarily there on a technical level. Jon Jones is. And Jon Jones has fought way better competition than Tom. That's just a fact. But Jon's never fought anyone like Tom either. Jon has never fought anyone the size of Tom and that can generate that kind of power. He had two heavyweight fights, one against Cyril Garner. He took him down really quick and he choked him out.
Looking ahead, Joe Rogan believes Jon Jones will return for a showdown with Tom Aspinall as a final bid for glory, while Ilia Topuria argues Jones has already achieved everything he needs. Yet Rogan remains adamant there's still room for one more fight before retirement.
Jon Jones, one of the greatest of all time. I mean,
And Jon, what do you think about he's gonna come back? He's gonna fight Tom?
Yes, I think he'll fight Tom.
No.
I think he'll hang out. You don't think so? No, really?
I don't think so.
How come?
For what?
For glory.
He already has the glory.
Yeah, one more glory before the lights fade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jon's a conqueror. I think
He
can't-
is.
I think he can't sit back.
He's the best of all time. No one
Yeah.
can say the opposite of that. He's the best.
Reflecting on Jones's legacy, Rogan praised Jon's elite fight IQ, with Topuria sharing his views, and noted that despite years of hard partying that took a physical toll, Jones stayed unbeaten at the top. Rogan also highlighted Jones's ruthless confidence, recalling how he casually told Daniel Cormier he could beat him even while on cocaine.
Well, Jon's fight IQ is insane.
Insane.
Insane. Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
And did a lot of his career partying, which is even crazier. Like, diminished his body, did coke. Like, one of the things he said to Daniel Cormier, rather, which is one of the coldest things anybody's ever said. He said, "I beat you when I was on coke." That's such a cold-blooded thing to say. It's so cold-blooded.
Crazy.
It's so cold-blooded.
Crazy.
Shifting focus to Aspinall, Joe Rogan noted that Tom Aspinall is an exceptional heavyweight, combining rare speed, size, and jiu-jitsu black belt grappling, yet he has never truly been tested in deep waters.
Look, Aspinall's amazing. He's unbelievable. He's fast as for a heavyweight. He's big. He can grapple, black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got knockout power, but he's never been in deep water.
However, Ilia Topuria acknowledged that while most expect Jon Jones to win, Tom Aspinall can't be counted out. He stated that anything can happen with one clean shot inside the octagon. However, Ilia remains doubtful that Jones will return to take the fight.
I don't want to say that he doesn't have any chance, because everyone has it. One punch can change everything inside the octagon. Of course, everyone think that Jon Jones is gonna get it, but you can't count him out at all, to Tom Aspinall. But I don't think that he's gonna come back. Me personally.
Moving on, just like Ilia, Robert Whitaker remains skeptical about Jon Jones's intentions to face Tom Aspinall as well. He suspects Jones is merely stringing the interim champ along, teasing the matchup, stalling the process, and possibly walking away from the sport before it ever happens.
It's hard. I can, at this point right now, I can kind of see Jon Jones just trolling the hell out of like Tom Aspinall, dude. Like, I can see him like signing it, doing 5 months, and then just retiring. I think he's trolling him at this point. It's rough. Aspinall's just wasting away. A lot of Jones fans have just jumped ship.
But maybe he's looking to properly like bulk up in the right places.
Maybe.
Well,
Or he's trolling. I'm just happy it's not my division, dude.
Despite his public dismissal, Dana White insists Jones is committed behind the scenes. Dana labeled the Aspinall-Jones matchup as the biggest fight in heavyweight history and a landmark event for the company. He pointed out how fighters often express uncertainty in public and hedge their bets behind the scenes. White remains confident that Jones will ultimately sign on, cementing what could become one of the sport's most significant matchups.
And I think it's probably the biggest fight in heavyweight history, and it's a massive fight in the history of the company too. So usually, those guys say that shit behind the scenes and not publicly. JON says that shit publicly, but not behind the scenes. JON is a very unique individual to deal with. From day one, I've been confident that Jon Jones would do that fight, right? I mean, even before the fight, I said if he won, there's no way Jon doesn't do this fight. Jon Jones isn't afraid to fight anybody, and that's a fact.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah, I'll say 100%.
However, further adding to his skepticism, Ilia Topuria pointed out that Tom Aspinall has never gone the distance, with all his fights ending in the first round, leaving questions about how he'd perform in the later championship rounds.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't know how he's gonna look at the 4th and 5th round.
Right, he might be great.
He might be great.
Sure.
Joe Rogan pointed out that Jon Jones has no doubts about himself. He's gone through 5-round wars without proper training and still come out on top, proving his heart and toughness. With Aspinall, Rogan sees a different kind of confidence, as he's been able to finish everyone quickly, and with his speed, athleticism, and size, he's a legitimate, dangerous heavyweight.
If you've never been, like, Jon has no questions. Right, there's no questions in Jon Jones's head. Yeah. He's gone through 5-round wars, like the Gustafsson fight. 5-round war, no training, wins. He knows that he's got what it takes. He's got heart. It's undeniable. So there's no questions. But with Aspinall, it's like, yeah, he can get everybody out of there. He's got the confidence that he gets everybody out of there. That's for sure. Like, he's got the confidence that he connects. He's so fast and athletic for a heavyweight, and he's a legitimate heavyweight. Like, Tom Aspinall's not making 205. He's big.
He's big.
He's a big
guy.
In contrast, Ilia Topuria stated that Jon Jones is a special fighter with exceptional fight IQ, noting that Jones never plays into his opponent's strengths and always finds a way to control the fight on his terms.
But Jon Jones is special.
He's special. He is special.
And he has that fight IQ. He's not that type of guy that he walks in and, for example, I don't know, Francis Ngannou. You know that he got that one-punch power, but he doesn't have the same level of fight IQ as Jon Jones.
Right.
With Jon, is like, if he feels that you are dangerous in the striking, he's gonna grab your legs, try to maul you a little bit in the ground. Then if you go in the second round with him in the striking, you're gonna be tired.
In conclusion, the fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall sparks debate, with Jones's legacy against Aspinall's speed and power. Jones aims to prove he's still elite, while Aspinall seeks to claim his spot at the top. This matchup is a defining moment for both fighters. This debate sets the stage for a potential showdown that could define both fighters' careers, so be sure to stay tuned for updates. And if you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more analysis.